We've just come back from a couple of days at the launch for this 2016 model WR450F, which is a really important model for Yamaha, based on the motocross bike. Very similar sort of roadmap, I guess, in adapting their motocross bike from the 250 they did a year ago, YZ to WRF. They've done that now with the 450. And it's a really good thing. Like it's a big step up. It's about 5 kilos lighter than its predecessor. And in a lot of ways, though, I think because we'd seen the 250, we knew what we were going to get, and it's a very impressive thing. But I think that's, in a lot of ways, it's sort of half the equation. You come out of these launches, you just get to test one bike. You do it in isolation. You don't really get the opportunity to sort of, weigh it up against the other bikes in the class. And ultimately, that's what the consumer's doing. So what we did, we've also had Damien Smith and Scotty Keegan, who are our test riders. They've also had this 2016 model KTM 450 XC. In a lot of ways, the benchmark of the class in terms of sales and I guess racing success over the last few years. And we really wanted to just sort of compare the things. So we spent another half day here out at Damien Smith on some grass track, on some enduro loops, on a bit of trail, just to get a feel for the character of the bike. And you'll hear later from the guys that they give you their sort of top line insight into it. But look, really you've got two bikes here. The yellow anniversary issue only comes in Australia and New Zealand, I think, but that's 13,200, I think 13,000 for the blue one. You got 13,800 give or take here for the KTM. So in our January-February issue, which comes out early January, we're going to have a comparison, obviously some insight and detail about the launch of the new Yamaha, all new bike and very exciting for Yamaha. But also, just to put it in context, we're going to make sure that we give a little bit of detail too about the differences between the bikes, which bike's likely to suit what sort of rider, what sort of terrain, and why.
What stood out to me about the new Yamaha was the whole look of the thing. Looks like a YZ. They've incorporated the YZ DNA into it. Engines, it's very punchy sort of engine, very revvy. I like that. It's got a lot of over rev and it's just well balanced, I think. The forks felt quite firm and shock was good too. The bike feels quite balanced and pretty good. It's still got that Yami feel about it. It's got the big flat seat and bars feel quite low, but no, I think the bike felt really good to me. So the KTM, they've changed a few small things on the bike, but it's a KTM where you get that, the reliability and you know exactly what it's like when you ride them. They all feel the same, and they're just a good package all around, improving package.
Alright, so the things that stood out first with the Yamaha is definitely the engine. It's a real aggressive, likes to rev. Also, you can torque it around, it's very torquey as well. A lot more up top, sort of compared to the KTM, where it's a little bit different. But yeah, two totally different bikes. Another thing is the suspension. I like the forks a lot. They had a pretty firm feel to them, and also real progressive on rocky stuff and everything like that. So they felt good also, and it just felt balanced front to rear. It was great. All right, so the KTM, yeah, it's usual KTM sort of feel. It's really, I think they're just fine-tuning things now. The last few years it's been maintaining the same sort of engine and same sort of feel, a lot more tractor-like power, a lot more, maybe a little bit better in the mud, but it's hard to tell, I guess, till you get there. Seems a little bit simpler around the engine area than the Yamaha, workability-wise, but we're yet to have much of a look at that. So the forks, a little bit more of a trail sort of feel, I think. Maybe a little bit better on the trail, but it's like I said, they're two totally different bikes, so also feels really balanced. Not quite as low in the back on the KTM, and you probably sit a little bit flatter on the Yamaha, whereas a bit more into the KTM behind the bars a bit further. So yeah, two different bikes.